Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Biringer. That's Chris Wassel. This is NHLRumors.com here on YouTube, bringing you the best news, notes, rumors from around the NHL. Check it out, NHLRumors.com. Our buddy Mark Easton does a great job with that site. Shout out to him. Shout out to the new page up on YouTube as well. We've been providing a lot of content. We're going to be providing more content. And we got the latest here, wrapping you around with some rumors here early in the season. We have to start. Is it a center's market? Because the Nashville Predators, Calgary Flames, and Chicago Blackhawks are looking for a center. The problem is nobody's making any moves. Chris, welcome.
Yeah, thanks again, obviously. This seems to always be the case this time of year. And we always say the same predictable, boring thing that, well, it's too early. And then we sit there and go, well, okay, if it's a center's market, then why isn't there at least being one credible name really being dangled around? Really isn't. We don't know you. And it's simply because teams are like, it's October. It really is almost a common sense thing with the NHL right now. Why tip your hand if you don't have to yet?
Right. And the key word is yet. Because we know Calgary via Eric Francis at Sportsnet, Craig Conway has said that if he can get a controllable asset, sound familiar? Tom Fitzgerald in New Jersey. Get a controllable asset, he would be willing to part with a first-round pick. However, they have the Montreal Canadiens pick as well and all that jamble stuff in there, Montreal, Calgary, all that thing. You look at it and you say, well, do I really want to give up a high pick for a middle six, second line center that you don't have because Elias Lindholm got traded? No, unless he's controllable, well, he's not out there, right? Chicago moved that player to Montreal. Kirby Dach. Can't Chicago use that guy right now? They could. They're just not out there. And look, good on Craig Conroy for saying, hey, if I have a controllable asset, I'm willing to pay the price. Barry Trotz needs a second line center too because he doesn't have one. We'll see if it works with Colton Sissons. We'll see if that trend continues. But they need a center. Tommy Novak's not working out. We'll see what they can do there. Chicago would like one. Chicago probably could use one next year. Maybe this isn't the year to do it. But there's not much out there because, like you said, nobody's willing to do anything and nobody knows what they have.
No, it's true. And until you have some kind of idea of what's there, you're not making any moves. There's no point in making any moves, period.
No, there is not. So we're going to keep an eye on those centers because it seems like everybody wants one, but you can't have them unless you draft one. But if you have it, then you're not going to trade them. You're going to sign them. So that is where we stand on the quote unquote centers market. Is there a D market out there? Well, the Utah Hockey Club hopes there's one. Now, right now, they're not going to go internally. They're going to be looking externally, maybe later on, but internally, that's where they're looking. They're going to bring up their prospects and see what they have because John Marino's out with an injury. Sean Durzee's out with an injury, both expected to be out long term. And Bill Armstrong has been looking to upgrade his team ever since the beginning of the season. He understands that championship teams, you trade for 50% of the team. Defense is what they needed in the offseason. They brought the guys in they needed, Sergachev and Marino. Now you're losing Marino, Durzi, a guy that you got from LA a couple of years ago. The problem is also who's out there that you can go get that's on an expiring deal besides Ivan Provorov out of Columbus. Like, I've heard Timothy Liljegren's name out there, but he's got term, and then he's going to be in the same position he is in Toronto. Does that make sense? You have to look for those UFA guys. And again, those teams are not going to be doing anything right now.
No, they're not. Again, it's kind of the same thing where it's like, yeah, there's a team looking. There's a position in need. there's nobody really that can satisfy your requirement while providing you, for the lack of a better term, instant gratification.
Right. Well, I mean, unlike last year where like Calgary had all these free agents that they could move like right away, Zadorov and Tanev and all those guys, they're just not out there right now.
Yeah. The market is not there.
It's not. It's really isn't. So it's similar to like the goalie market, right? Like, where are we going to try to find some things? They're not. They're just not there outside of San Jose. And are they willing to part with Blackwood and or Vitek Vanacek? Is a team like Pittsburgh looking to grab somebody? Colorado, could they go to Anaheim for John Gibson? But again, it's similar to what we see in NFL, right? Like, who's going to take on the money?
Right. And worse, Gibson has not played a single regular season game yet because, well, ow, my appendix.
Should have been back by now. I've had appendicite.
This is a little bit different, though.
It's true.
People have to understand that he didn't just have the appendicitis. He kind of pulled an abdomen muscle with it.
That's not good.
So that explains like the 3 to 6 week diagnosis that was given. People were like, well, if he only had appendicitis, how about, again, one of those things where it's like, it's usually more than one thing. Sure enough, it is more. And I don't know, maybe someday John Gibson actually does get moved. Because
I would think he would be. I think Pittsburgh's a good fit for him. But again, let's see if they do it.
It just feels like the Thomas Cabaret trade deadline. Just with John Gibson now.
It does. It really does. I think so. It really does. So we'll see what they do. Then you have the Montreal Canadiens, who, well, their season's starting to spiral out of control. Kent Hughes is on the phone, their general manager, exploring a trade market similar to Barry Trotz, Bill Armstrong, Craig Conroy, so on and so forth. But they're looking for middle six forward. But do they really know what they have? Because Patrick Laine is not in the lineup. You got Caden Gooley hurt, Barron's hurt, Slavkovsky's hurt. Again, losing guys. Do they really want to mortgage the future because they're in the rebuild, that they're really ready to take the next step? Do you really want to mortgage everything for something like that and get like a veteran guy in there where you might have it already on the team when guys are slotted properly?
It's 100% true. I mean, look, is Montreal going to get to this point where like they're going to approach 500-man games lost again?
Oh, that would be awful.
And you hope not.
No,
but it's ugly.
It's getting late early.
Oof. And worse for them. I mean, you look down the injury list and it's like, oh, really? Okay, Lonnie, you could have kind of seen coming to a point, but still, it was just unfortunate. What's crazy is Ryan Bacher's injury out of the two looked far less worse.
Yes. And he's lost for the year.
Obviously Slavkovsky, hang tight, probably early next week, hopefully.
Right.
But again, Harvey Pinard's going to be out for what feels like forever. He's another one. Goalie just seems hurt constantly, unfortunately. The Barron injury hopefully is not that bad. They don't seem to think it's serious, but then again, you never quite know. And it's a team that, look, I mean, yeah, I know they're 2-4-1 right now, but they haven't played all that poorly. They just, ironically, as crazy as it sounds, they just need to get a few more opportunities.
That's true, they do. So we'll see what they do there on that market. Again, they're working the phones. They're trying to be doing their due diligence like all the other teams are.
Kent Hughes is on it.
Exactly. Then there's New York, the Rangers. You have Igor Shesterkin looking to be paid as the highest paid goaltender in the NHL and the highest paid Ranger until Artemi Panarin passes him next offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Alexis Lafreniere is due for new contract. He will get
Yeah.
paid, and he will get paid more than Chris Kreider.
Right.
Maybe the same amount as Mika Zibanejad.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Keandre Miller. Oh, by the way, their salary cap is a problem, but they'll have flexibility next season when they should be able to move Trouba. Ryan Lindgren's going to be off the books. Do you move Capo Caco? Unless that line stays together, you could maybe pay him like a middle six forward. Do you like him if Cooley and all those guys? But let's focus in on Shesterkin, Lafreniere, and Miller. I think it's a long-term deal. They want to get it done with Shesterkin. He wants to be the highest paid goalie in the league. They know how much they need him because structurally, that's how they play. It's Henrik Lundqvist 2.0. As far as Lafreniere and Miller go, we've seen what the market has been set. If Matty Beniers and Dylan Guenther are getting $7.14 million, this guy can probably make $8 million if he wants.
Yeah. I don't think there's a doubt here. One of the big things, and everybody talked about it early, was the bit of stunted development, to say the least. And now you started seeing flashes of it last year where it's like, wow, okay, why isn't he on the power play more? He's creating, obviously, in space, at even strength. Why not? And finally, late in the year, it was like somebody turned the light bulb on and said, okay, we're gonna play him a little bit more on man advantage. And it hasn't translated yet this year, but it's the old give it time. The maturity took a little longer, and he's going to get big money. There is no question about it.
Mm-hmm. He will. He's not a bust. People, he wasn't a bust. He lost time because of COVID.
Yeah.
And everybody that follows the Rangers and followed the kid knows it. Mm-hmm. As far as Miller goes, we saw what Thomas Harley's making in Dallas. We've seen what other guys are making. What Montour got. I don't know if he's going to get that much. But if Ryan Lindgren comes off the books, you move Trouba, you'll have money to pay these guys. Again, it all depends on what Igor wants. Does he get 11-7? Does he get 12? Is it a longer term extension? Is it a 6-year extension? He wants the money. Again, everybody has to realize cap percentage. The top guys get 13 to 15% of the cap. And when the cap goes up, it actually drops below 12%.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it may look like a lot. Oh, we don't want to pay a goalie that much. You can pay a goalie that much because it won't be a problem, especially when the guy delivers. And I think Igor and the Rangers get it done. I think Lafreniere is going to be there. I think Miller will be there. I think they'll all get it done. But again, you got to find the money. And that's the key for Chris Drury. And they like to keep things tight-lipped. However, he knows what his value is, and he knows he can get whatever he wants. That's Shesterkin.
That's the big money.
So, guys, this has been our whip around the NHL rumors here on our YouTube channel. Check it out, NHLrumors.com for more. Myself, Chris Wassel, Mark Eason, bringing you all the latest and greatest rumors from the NHL. There'll be videos twice a week here on our channel, and official NHL rumors. Check it out. Please subscribe, like the video. We'll be back again next time. Take care.